Hello, guys.
Oh, hi.
hey.
Hello.
What's the happenings?
How goes?
It goes.
It's been a long week already. It feels like it should be Friday.
It feels like the
Oh my
slowest
God.
week ever because I'm sitting there watching the calendar. I'm trying to get to Sunday, and it just feels like the longest week.
Yeah.
Watched Pot Never Boils. That's a stupid expression, isn't it?
Yeah, well,
'Cause,
yeah.
like,
That makes sense though.
Because it will.
It does.
Yeah,
It,
it's like staring at a clock. The longer you look at it, the longer it feels like time takes.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny.
it makes sense.
Time is funny.
Yep, time be weird and shit.
I lost some time tonight watching on the TV, trying to watch the last
Time
movie.
travel.
Lost a little bit of time there. That's why we're a little bit late.
Last movie. Which one are you trying to watch?
Covenant.
So it's Aliens Week, everybody, fans and friends.
It's Alien, Aliens, Aliens, and then more aliens.
And then Prometheus and Prometheus.
The only more confusing naming convention would be the Rambo movies.
I like the fact that the sequel was Aliens. Like,
That's
that's very good.
I've always thought like, oh, that's pretty smart. Right?
Also because the first movie had one.
Yeah, and then the second one had aliens.
Gangs of them.
Gangs. Also, sorry, go ahead, Ted. You were going to say something about this, and I was going
to make a horrible joke, dude. I was going to say if it came out like now, it would have been like hella aliens. Would it be the third one? Just like
aliens on a plane.
Heckamo aliens.
Hella mo.
No,
aliens,
just the E and aliens would have been a 3.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
It wouldn't have been aliens to the third power. It would have been Ale3ns.
The A would have
yes, been a V. You're absolutely right, and I would hate it.
The A would be a V.
Fourth one, the A. And the fourth one, the A would be a 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
gross.
Like the Fan Forstick movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, Fan Forstick.
Fan Forstick. Yeah. Yeah.
So we're not covering the comics, we're not covering the games, we're not covering the fandom, we're not covering a lot. We're covering its origins, basically, because Aliens is a big deal for a lot of reasons. And I was telling Ryan on the phone, I was like, you're gonna watch Aliens and you're gonna make you're gonna connect a lot of dots. Because like so much sci-fi is based on that movie.
Yeah.
And we'll get to that in a second. But so we're gonna just go. So primarily, we're gonna go through Aliens, Alien 3, Prometheus, and then everything else after that is gravy. So we're on our when we talked about it last week, we said we can skip Resurrection, and then nobody mentioned Covenant either. So, but
nobody should.
We gotta talk about it.
Anyway,
it's part of the franchise. It's like directly part
core
of the franchise.
It's core. Yeah, it's core.
Yeah, it's the man who created the myth. The legend, the lore says this is it. So love it or hate it, sort of like Star Wars. This is what we get. Anyway,
yeah.
So we have a unique situation in that Ryan's never seen any of them until today?
Until today, yeah.
So pretty fresh.
I watched 1, 2, and 3 today.
I might use you as the conduit.
Speaking of fresh, Sarge, your hat and shirt looks
great.
Nice.
That shirt looks they both look great, but that hat looks really good.
Yeah, the hat's real nice. It's all embroidered too.
Yeah.
Let me see your shoulder. Let me see your shoulder. The logo shoulder.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh yeah. Woo. Damn.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, the first one came out it came out real white. Like there was no color in it the first time, so this one actually turned out real nice.
Nice.
Man, that's great.
Yeah.
So we might as well just use you as a conduit today. Let's just hook you up to the positive and negative. And since like we've all seen it.
You ever had a car battery attached to your nips?
Okay. Ryan, Alien. It's old as fuck.
It's old as fuck.
1976, right?
79?
9.
Okay.
Yeah.
I confused my 6 with a 9, but 1979.
A 6 with Star Wars. That's a big date, right? It's a big number.
I wasn't even thought of, so.
Okay. Anyway, what do you think?
It wasn't even an idea.
I thought it was all right. I was comparing a lot of it, like the graphic quality compared to Star Wars.
Yeah.
And I was like, this came out after Star Wars, and they were missing key components. Like
Such as?
the ships didn't have like boost behind them. They were just floating through space, but they had big engines on the back of like the big transport ship.
Yeah.
Things like that. Like Star Wars made ships look really good, and this made them look really bad. But movie wise, like the plot was all right. I don't know. You can tell it's an older movie. Like plot stories like that aren't they don't work. They don't run the course like these ones did. But I mean I enjoyed it. It wasn't like my favorite, but I enjoyed it.
I think to mention the technology, the fact that this is only 3 years after, and I think it looks drastically different than sci-fi did at that time. It's being
Yeah, it feels
and that goes across
very-
the whole franchise, but
Yeah.
It had
very
his own
dark.
aesthetic as far as like this the sci-fi genre movie. It had his own like aesthetic, and they literally kept that aesthetic the entire time, and I thought that was kind of dope.
Yeah.
yeah, everything
Yeah,
was
it's like-
everything was really wet and
Wet
dirty
black.
and wet, black, and
Yeah.
dirty. Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
like everything was dilapidated and
Looked like a sheen of oil on everything. Just like
Yeah.
just a layer of oil.
Yeah, and all the technology is like IBM punk.
yes, I was
Yeah.
trying to find a
It's-
word for it, but yeah, I was like retrofuturism, but IBM punk is great. But like every time text would come across, it made that cool little like blurpy noise, like
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and I was watching something today, and they called them like space truckers, like just normal working ass people.
Yeah.
You know, you look at the Enterprise, everybody's clean cut in a uniform, and they're all fucking geniuses.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Sure.
You know
Right?
And the Nostromo's full of fucking blue
Yeah.
collar folks.
Yeah,
They're just
Yeah.
and
like
they're all
shooting
like
shit.
cursing and yelling at
worried,
each other.
worried about money and shit like that. Like,
Yeah.
they got problems like, hey, am I gonna get my cut? Like, do I get a bigger cut because we got shit going on that wasn't supposed to be here? Yeah.
What's interesting is in Alien Resurrection, just to jump ahead a little bit, Ripley says something to the effect of like, just so you know, we were military, we were Marines, like we were like government property, and they didn't give a fuck about us. So like she was telling that to the crew of the
Mhm.
prisoners. I thought it was
Yeah.
very interesting, because I just to say like they were regular people, but they were
Yeah.
super expendable.
Yeah.
And like
Oh yeah.
nobody is not expendable like that. And I think that's the reason why it was so dope to me.
Mhm.
Is that like
Yeah.
it was one of those movies, and I love movies like this, right? Where like just at the end of the day, anyone can get it. You know what I mean? Like, and honestly, I know we're not talking about this, but I liked AVP 2. Not on the topic at
Yeah.
all. But I liked AVP 2 because a room full of pregnant mothers got it. Like the church guy got it. Like everybody
Yeah.
got it. And in real
Yeah.
life, that's kind of what would happen. So I appreciated that aspect of these movies. I didn't mean to derail us from the alien talk.
No.
No, that's fine.
No, you're
I
good,
think
you're good.
that just my brain went to 3 because 3 starts off like that. It ditches some pretty main characters, but we'll get there eventually. This was also a pretty big first attempt at artificial intelligence. I mean, Star
Yeah.
Wars had droids, but what was his name?
Ash.
Bilbo. Was the first android that obviously had a
Oh
glitch.
shit, that's Bilbo. My brain was like, "Who the fuck is this dude?"
Yeah, he glitched out and turned on everybody, and that scene was pretty
Well,
terrifying, especially when
he
he
didn't-
started going nuts.
He didn't really glitch out. He was just following protocol.
Was he under orders?
Yeah, which
Yeah,
is,
he
which
was,
is like,
he was under orders that the crew is expendable, and if they're
That's
getting in the way,
Bilbo?
to fuck him up,
it is
like
Bilbo.
straight up.
So Mother was trying to bring an organism back home, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's kind of the through line in all of these movies.
Yeah.
Is that like the real villains are the fucking androids? Like,
No,
Yeah,
the real villain
No.
is Wayland.
The corporation, right?
Well,
Which
Yeah.
Wayland slash Walmart.
So like by proxy, the androids, because they're the androids are the things being used by
Which-
Wayland
they-
to bring
yeah, they're
stuff
just the
back.
instruments. But you
Exactly.
can't say that after 2, because
After 2, yeah,
Bishop is a fucking hero.
yeah,
Right.
Sure.
Right.
Sure,
saves the
yeah.
girl, and
Do you guys
Yeah.
know the proper order for these movies?
Like chronologically.
Yeah,
Prometheus
Prometheus is the first one.
is only 30 years before. And then what is it, Covenant?
It's 100.
Yeah.
I thought. Was it a?
Well, no, no, it's 30.
no. It's
'cause
20.
they're-
2089, 2093 is it's set between 2089 and 2093, And
Okay.
then the first Alien movie is 2122.
Yeah, it's 30 years.
Yeah, 30 years.
I can't count.
Excuse me, there's a 1 there. That's at least 100. Anyway.
No, yeah. He just said, I can't count.
Which is kind of weird,
Math.
and we'll get into this eventually, but or maybe we don't have to. But Prometheus has like nothing to do with the events that happen in the other movies.
I
They're
don't.
Like,
I
it's
disagree.
kind of, it's almost parallel.
I think this is a great prequel.
I think it, as far as the lore is concerned, I agree. But
It
the
doesn't
fact that
set
none of
up
these
Alien.
none of these events are actually connected.
Dude,
Like that ship that crashes is not the same ship.
no.
That navigator with a hole in his chest, not the same navigator. Like, and that xenomorph that pops out at the end, not anything to do with any other xenomorph ever.
But the thing about the xenomorphs is like they do genetically change
Yeah,
vastly.
yeah,
And the thing that I thought was great in Alien was the fact that they ran up on an engineer in a chair that looks
Yeah.
identical to the Prometheus engineer.
yeah, yeah.
I thought it was great. I thought it was a great
I
tie-in
agree.
to give the backstory on who the fuck was that in that chair to answer
Yeah.
that question.
They the fans call them space jockeys.
It's
It's
good.
pretty interesting. But they
Yeah.
they seeded life on Earth, which is fucking incredible.
Oh.
Right? Yeah. No, I liked it. I'm not saying it's.
I mean, the
don't like
implications
it,
of
but-
what they're saying is like there is no God. Like
Yeah.
it was these guys
Yeah.
who genetically matched with us. I thought it was pretty
Yeah.
fucking. As a whole, if we're gonna go chronologically, which I don't think we were trying to do, but I think Prometheus is a great movie.
Me too.
But I do think the franchise falls off at Prometheus.
Yeah. Well, slightly before with the AVP, and then
Well, I'm not even-
immediately
yeah.
after.
I'm not
Yeah.
even like thinking about AVP because AVP 2 was golden, and AVP 1 at the time was good with Sanaa Lathan. It was good at the time, right?
At the time.
At the time, it was considered good.
Yeah, sure.
But watching Alien now, I thought to myself, this is really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On rewatch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a solid ass movie, and with classic scenes that stood the test of time.
Also, the cast is fucking dynamite.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
I did
Alright, well,
not
let's-
want the one girl to die, and she did for sure.
Yeah.
And I forgot who it was, but
Numi, was that Numi Rapace?
Apache.
Rapace? Yeah, with that man, that scene where
That
she's getting her,
foreign body removal fucking
the operation scene is
Yeah.
absolutely one of the best of the entire franchise. But we can't really gloat on that one too long because Ryan hasn't seen it. I think we should talk
Sure.
about maybe one of the greatest science fiction movies ever made, and that's Aliens.
aliens. Yes.
Aliens.
Game
Yeah.
over, man.
Fucking
Game
Bill
over,
Paxton.
man.
Game over,
Fucking
man.
Bill Paxton. Put my two favorite quotes in the notes here. Of course, right where they get out of cryo, Vasquez is doing like pull-ups on the rafters.
Yeah.
He's like, "Hey Vasquez, you ever been mistaken for a man?" She's like, "No, have you?"
That was a great line, dude. That was, and then
Fucking
cue Ja
really
Rule's
good.
clap back. Like the clap back was immediate on that one, dude.
Yeah.
And then it was, like I think her homie laughed at him. Like it was a good
Yeah.
clap back.
Yeah. it
Well,
was really good.
they put them together before they shot the movie. They made them like spend time together, so they got to know each other. So if you want to know why all that jargon and back and forth feels so natural,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So that's
Yeah.
pretty interesting.
And I've
really good.
never seen Paul Reiser in such a despicable role. You know, like he's
Yeah.
always been like the good guy. It feels like.
Yeah, yeah. What quite a worm. Well, there's always a Wayland worm, right, in every movie.
Always.
And he played that role pretty good. He was so slick in the beginning. He was really well acted. I like the way he got her there. I like that cool video conference thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's
You know-
really neat, man.
You know what's interesting is the engineers created this biological weapon, and humans keep falling in the same kind of trap that the engineers did, in which it was their demise. Their weapon that they created was their demise, and Wayland's thirst for this weapon
yeah,
as a weapon is their demise.
yeah,
Yep.
right.
I think it's
Yep.
a very interesting kind of subplot that's happening out through the whole movies. Like they're literally mimicking what the engineers did, and their thirst for
really-
this thing that to
Yeah.
the point where they recreate it themselves.
It's really interesting to me that like Wayland Yutani is this fucking scientific powerhouse on Earth, which is, thousands of light years away, whatever. And that they never once, and maybe this is like an overarching theme to these movies, they never once send a group out to do exactly what they want them to do. They always send moles with a group of people who have no fucking idea what's going to happen. And it's funny, it's weird to me because like if these guys are like scientists that are smart, you would imagine, they should put together a team that's like, one, not vulnerable to these things. Just send a ship full of androids. Two, they know exactly what they're going and facing. And three, their job is to like get one and go. Because every movie, it's like Wayland's like, well, what if like you snuck? What if you let them eat one person and then caught that thing that's really fucking hard to catch?
Ryan, did you watch the? I guess you may or may not know the director's cut of 2.
No,
Did you know for sure you haven't, or
it's. I mean, I just got the the basic edition. It didn't say anything about being a.
did you see the family approach the ship on was the first one LV 426?
426.
Do you see the family approach the alien ship in their little moon rover and the little girl screaming?
No.
After, okay. So in the director's cut, you see them find the wreckage and then getting instructions from Wayland, like, "Hey, go check that out." And then
That's weird.
So
it shouldn't be there.
right. So the daddy gets the face hugger. Mom brings him back to 426. Smash cut to Sigourney on the space station, and
can we talk about space huggers for a second?
Fuck them.
Literally the scariest thing in all of
probably
Aliens.
one of
I'm more scared of face huggers than I am of xenomorphs, because I know xenomorphs are just like, this is gonna fuck you up, but this thing's the face fucker, dude. That's fucked up.
It forces the thing down your throat into your gut, which then
bursts out of your gut.
No
your
thanks.
chest.
I think that's called an ovipositor, by the way. The thing that
gross.
Yeah.
Gross.
I don't ever want
to know that.
I don't want to know that or see one or meet one. An what do you call it? An ovipositor?
Ovipositor, like ovary, ovipositor.
I'm gonna stick with ovipositor because that's funny too. Like, because it's right in your O face.
Okay, no face.
Yep, just blowing people's O-rings.
I think it might be one of the most quotable movies ever. Like everything's, like every line is good most of the time. It's great, man.
As far as I think the one-liners have all been solid.
Yeah.
I never heard, because I didn't want to cram it, right? So like I actually like started watching this last week and kind of taking my time with it, and like I even rewatched it a couple times, because like sometimes when you're watching a movie you're not paying attention.
Yeah.
I didn't want to do that. I wanted to pay attention. So like I started the movie over like twice, because I was like getting busy on stuff and I wanted to give it its proper justice. But I never like rolled my eyes at a line or a scene or anything.
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird how serious the movie is, but Bill Paxton being a complete fucking goofball still felt like it fit somehow.
Yeah, it feels natural.
Yeah.
There's always that one guy. Like not everybody can be serious.
Yeah.
There's always that one guy that's in a panic.
There's a scene where he like looks down the acid hole and he goes and spits, and then Vasquez comes up and bumps him like he's gonna fall, and he goes, "Quit fucking around."
Yeah,
like, it's just so natural, man.
Yeah,
it's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that the genre change, right? Because the first one is a scary ass space horror. The byline of the first one is "No one can hear you scream in space." Like, it's a scary ass movie, and then the second one is just it's fucking tower defense, but alien. It's fucking great. I love how different it is. It's like, so the first one, no one knows what the fuck it is. The second one, we sent in a bunch of Marines, and it's just gonna be an action flick.
First movie is just straight up horror. It's one monster wiping out the whole crew. It just happens to be set in space.
And I think it's a perfect note to start the franchise on, because one can destroy everything, right? Like one fucking alien.
They grow up so fast, right? They grow up in a couple hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was...
Yeah, it came out of his body, and then like the next scene, it was literally the size of it, like taller than a human. Like, what the fuck? Like, you didn't eat nothing. How you so big? Like, I'm so confused.
It makes me think of, and I know this isn't a part of this specific series of things, but there's a show on HBO called I just lost it. Raised by Wolves. that's also Ridley Scott. That's also very like
Very
weird,
bad.
wormy, snaky. It's weird. It's
Very
weird.
bad.
I liked it. I liked it until the end, and then was like, oh fuck. All right. Cool beans.
I tried so hard to keep my attention with it, and it just didn't do it for me. But that's a different. That's a different.
It's a completely different thing. But
Different conversation.
Ridley Scott's universe, I guess,
know what?
right? Because what?
His movies later on in this series aren't as solid to me. I think that I feel like it got better when it was James Cameron, and I don't know who did the third one.
David Fincher.
David fucking Fincher. Okay, so say what you want about Scott now. As far as like the Hollywood greats, Aliens had Ridley Scott, James Cameron, and David Fincher. That's so fucking huge.
And that's why they're all good movies, dude. They're all fucking solid ass movies, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
well, Well, Ryan, what'd you think of 2? You haven't said much.
I mean, the action was good. It was actually nice to have that instead of it just being a horror movie.
Yeah.
But I was talking to Kayla about this before, and I'll wait to finish this comment till later. Like the storylines seem the same.
Yeah.
Just slightly different at the end, with how each one goes. But I mean, they all felt fun. But it's nothing I'm gonna like hold in my mind for the rest of my, like you say, like in your opinion it's like one of the best movies out there, but like I probably wouldn't rank it in that same spot for me.
So it's a no for you, dog.
It's not a no. It's not a no. I did enjoy it. I'd watch it again.
I think.
What are you supposed to kill him with? Harsh language?
Yeah. I feel you, Sarge. I would understand as someone who hadn't seen them like not have that attachment to it, you know. Like I can, but I also remember how scared I was as a child watching these.
That's true.
You know, so like I think I have that playing in the background of my mind. One thing I did have a problem with was the gratuitous Sigourney Weaver half naked scenes in the first 4 movies. I felt that was kind of out of place, but that's just I think that's just today's standard speaking.
She was the icon of the 70s and 80s, I guess. So people were like, "Yeah, we gotta have that." It's like Michael Bay and Megan Fox and being unable to make a movie with her in it without shooting her at a.
That's interesting though, because I heard Ripley's character. The reason the name is sort of genderless is because they didn't have a gender in mind when writing the script. So it's interesting that, and you know, and you say when you want to write a good female character, just make good character, right? And who cares what their gender is, right? Just make a good character. Sort of like, you know, don't make a black character all about being black. Just make a good fucking character that is black. You know, so like that. So like, you know, same kind of thing. So it's really interesting that they did any sort of sexual exploitation at all, considering
it felt like an afterthought, and it felt like something they did at the end, because it happens at the end of the movie. On the first one at least, was like she gets naked for no reason. Like she's in the escape ship, and then she's just like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna wear these 2 small underwear. And you're gonna see this crack." And it seems like wildly like just kind of like man shit. You know what I'm saying? Just like
at the beginning of the first one, she. Like if you look, you can see she's got like a thin, like string that goes across her tits. That's it, and it covers the nipples. That's it. She didn't have a shirt on other than that. I'm like, the fuck is this for? Like everybody else has clothes on in this tube.
It did not
Why
add
can't
to the
you
plot at all. Like it had nothing to do with the plot at all. But you know, this was a very strong lead, and I think if it would be interested to see, I don't know, like where Sigourney Weaver was in her career at the time, but it definitely, like in my life, she's been like top tier, the Sigourney Weaver, like the Sigourney Weaver. I wonder how it was when she did this movie, like where she was in her career, because it's definitely a very strong female role.
I can tell you it was early enough that her acting in 3 was the best in the whole series, so she learned a lot from 1 and 2.
I mean, Ghostbusters is also like 5 years after this. And
it wasn't much of a role there.
No, but she's the like romantic appeal. She's the sex appeal of that movie.
And the villain.
So like this is like, I think, height, or maybe this leads to the height of Sigourney. the heat of Sigourney. Also, just to comment on the ending, like I don't know y'all, but if I get through that and I'm in an escape pod and I'm free and clear, I'm sitting around in my underwear.
Sure.
100%.
If I have a beer, I guess, but like, I don't know.
I'm taking off the shit I've been sweating in for days, running from this thing, and I'm just sitting on the fucking floor.
She did a TV show called Somerset. She did she did some theater. She did a miniseries called The Best of Families. She did a movie called Madman, and then it was Alien. So pretty close to the beginning. Close enough. And then Ghostbusters, and then Aliens.
Well,
and then
yeah,
Gorillas in the Mist, and then
she's the shit though in all these movies. She's the reason. Yeah. I think she's the reason why I like the movie. I like these movies.
Dude, she even popped up at the end of Cabin in the Woods, one of my favorite horror movies.
Dude, that reveal is incredible. That reveal is incredible.
That's okay. That movie is one of the one things that me and Erin, my wife, don't agree on.
I know,
and it bothers me. It like bothers me so much.
The movie's incredible.
one of my favorite movies I've ever seen.
Yeah. Kim also hates my two favorite Jim Carrey movies, which are Truman Show and Eternal Sunshine.
I've never seen Eternal Sunshine.
Because it's not Jim Carrey being a funny man.
Jim Carrey movies that aren't funny, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, okay, Ryan, you are our tent pole here, right? So here we go.
Gross.
Alien 3. Now, I let me preface. I think he was gonna watch either Prometheus or something else, but I was like, I think Alien 3 is generally pooped on so much. I want to hear what he thought. So I think, is that why you watched that one today?
I just bought the 3-movie pack.
Trilogy. Okay. All right. Anyway, so what'd you think?
It deserves to be pooped on a little bit. Dude, these storylines were the first one, all right, cool, whatever. You have to have a storyline, but the second and the third were like, this lady's been around them before. Let's listen to her, and everybody fucking die. Like, that's literally all of her ideas. Just got everybody killed constantly. And like, this one was so weird. Like, she lands at a prison that's full of dudes that are murderers and rapists and whatever else through the book. Halfway through, she almost gets raped. I'm like, okay, like I didn't see that coming. Like, was that even needed? Like, was that even needed to be a part of the movie? Generally, no. The CGI got a lot better. The alien actually looked really good in that one, like the lot of face movement and stuff like that.
Yeah, they did a really interesting mix of like puppetry and man in suit stuff for that movie.
Yeah.
And then the camera angles, I thought that was a good addition to it that they didn't do in the first two. Like when they're traveling down the hallways, you get their perspective, their first person
alien
perspective.
Cam.
The Xenocam. I love
it.
Yeah. It sucked that like you kind of get a connection with the girl and the little girl in the second one, and then like they literally kill her off in the trip.
That's what I was gonna say. That was
damn,
one of the first
dude,
things you said. Tex says don't fall in love with anybody because this series is gonna whack them. This movie started off with Hicks and Newt's funeral.
Yeah.
Insane.
They die off screen.
You know what bothers me? When people don't just say what the fuck it is, right? When something happens, and they're just like, I'm not gonna say what.
Like, could you just open the chest? Wait, what are we looking for here? Just trust me. Like, no, bitch. No, the fuck we looking at
here? No. It is time to talk about the murder aliens, okay? Like, it's not a time to hold that information back. She's just
also,
like,
but when she openly talks about it, nobody fucking believes her. So I probably wouldn't tell nobody either.
Yeah.
Like we're literally living in space and can travel from planet to planet, but y'all can't believe in aliens just because you haven't seen one? Like, what the fuck? We're traveling the galaxy, but you don't believe in aliens? Kiss my ass.
Well, yeah.
So, but
I mean, I think they mentioned in plot, like the guy. So, like, let me get this straight. There's an alien that kills everything with acid blood. You know, like that bursts out of your chest. Like, it's kind of unbelievable. Like
a little bit. Yeah, sure.
What's that guy's name? Like Charles S. Danton or something like that.
Charles S. Dutton.
Dutton, yeah.
Because I remember when that movie came out, man. I was a big fan because obviously I was a kid in New Jersey. The Rock, which is the name of the show, Rock. Was
Yeah.
a show, TV show about a black family, and Charles S. Dutton was the lead, and he was a garbage man, and it was a really emotional type show. They really tackled a lot of issues. It was really like it was a staple in my life at the time, and then for him to get that role in Alien 3, I thought it was really, really, really dope.
Supporting role. Him and Charles Dance.
Yeah,
Charles Dance is fucking magical. Every time he's on screen, I'm just like, I'm sucked in, man. Like it's I don't know, he's great. Everything from then to Game of Thrones, man.
Yeah.
And Godzilla. But I fucks with Alien 3. I had a friend say, like, I was on the train, like, yeah, it sucks, you know, a horrible sequel, and then my friend's like, nah, man, we're gonna watch this again. This was like 15 years ago, and ever since I watched it with him, I was like, yep, this is great, and I fell in love with David Fincher, and I think I like 3 a lot.
I never had a problem with 3 as a first view. Never had a problem with 3, and
It's so gory.
This recent view, I liked it a lot.
Good, that's good to hear, man. Lance Henriksen comes back. She like has to plug his head in.
Yeah,
that's pretty awesome. And then you get to meet the creator, which is he's just Bishop 2 or whatever. That's who he's cast as. You see he's the slimy Wutani or Wayland guy trying to push the agenda, right?
Yeah. With an agenda that they've had for 100 years. It was just kind of crazy.
He's like, you can trust me. And she's like, nah, psych. And then she starts moving away on the platform. And he's like, but think of what we could learn from it. It's like, yeah, I didn't trust you. Fuck you. Like, he was like, I will kill it for sure. And now he's like, nah, we could learn so much. Like, yeah, dude, you were such an asshole.
Yep.
Yeah, that dude definitely fucked up Bishop's head, like the real human Bishop's head. And like he hit him way too hard for him to be okay.
His ear looked like it was falling off though. Like if you look at it, his ear's sticking out like way the fuck out here, and you're just okay with that. Like nobody's looking at you.
You're still trying to get this alien, huh? This nigga just whacked you with the fucking with a murder blow, and you still trying to get this alien out her stomach. Fuck out of here, dude.
You get the medic in here and check you out, dude.
Yeah, I think this is Sigourney's best acting. I think she really fucking killed it. It was really believable. Not to be misogynistic, but the short hair is the hottest. I'm sorry. that's her best look. And then this is the one that's
misogyny. Is that misogyny?
Okay.
I don't think so.
Objectification? I don't care. Anyway,
no, just saying you like her in short hair is fine. Like,
and then this established the mutation lore that whatever they impregnate dictates their mutation.
Which is the first time we've seen them get anything other than a human.
Yeah.
Well, do you know what's fucked up? I just watched Prometheus, and I've seen Prometheus in the movie theaters. I bought Prometheus when it hit digital, and I just realized that in Prometheus, when they're walking through the ship, I don't know, Sarge, you didn't see it, but when they're walking, they're unearthing worms, and then when they go into the chamber with the pods, with the little war pods with the black ooze, once the worms get into it, that mutates them into what kills the 2 astronauts.
Yeah.
And I had no idea. I had no idea because that's why it was that's why they were worm-like.
Oh wow, that's wild. Yeah. I missed that completely.
And so those things create face huggers. Like they don't create aliens, they create face huggers.
Yeah.
And then the face huggers create whatever based on the host body.
That's right.
Yeah, because the engineers were all about engineering shit and manipulating DNA.
Yeah, and the shit that they used to start it, right? Before you get to what we call xenomorphs, which I guess is actually not a word that's ever been used in the movies. Ever?
No, I thought they did use it. Did they use it?
No, they did. They used them in 2 for sure.
Yeah, definitely saw it, heard it in 2.
Okay.
Right when they're briefing everybody in the hangar, she uses it there.
Yeah, so the
just another bug.
The thing that they start it with is that black mist, right? And like jumping way ahead, Alien Covenant shows us the black mist again, and like that just breaks down stuff and then things come out of it. So yeah, worms that then make egg pods that then form a bigger thing. Yeah, it's all based on like rapid evolution.
Yeah.
Shit's wild. Shit's wild. The and I don't want to talk about Prometheus too much because I know Ryan didn't get a chance to watch it.
No, go ahead.
But like, how do we have an alien conversation and not talk about Prometheus?
You're right.
Yeah, talk about Prometheus and Covenant, unfortunately. So
yeah,
that's fine.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Prometheus is interesting because I think the reason I hated it after I walked out of the theater the first time.
Oh,
I was
no.
fucking pissed. I was
me, you, and Kim, wasn't it?
no.
Yeah, because the original pitch was it's a prequel to Alien, and I was like, fuck yeah. Got to it, and like you see the big ship, and you're like, oh my god, this is
Yeah.
amazing. How's it gonna lead in? And then it absolutely doesn't. And I was like, what the fuck? This was supposed to. And then later I found out after like reading about it, that like the initial pitch for the movie was 75% prequel to Alien, 25% its own thing telling the
New
lore.
material.
And then the writer switched, and Damon Lindelof, famous for Lost and The Leftovers and The Watchmen show on HBO, came in and wrote it. And he negotiated that it be 75% its own thing and just exist in the universe of the other movies. So that 25% was just like, yeah, it happened before, but it doesn't set up. And then watching it knowing that, completely different. Loved it. But watching it expecting it to tie like a bookend, I was like, this fucking sucks.
Now,
Go ahead.
for me, when I saw the movie, I literally, and don't know how I missed this because I'm like super always on it, but maybe I was distracted in life. I had no idea this was in the Aliens universe at all. Like I was completely ignorant to the fact. Literally, the only time I knew that this was Aliens was the xenomorph at the end. So like,
really,
my mind
crazy.
in the theater almost exploded. Like I was
you were like, what?
because it's been so long since I've seen Aliens, so I didn't recognize the engineers. Like that's such a small part, like a 2-second scene in Alien is the engineer. So I just never put any of that together. So I thought it was just a dope ass sci-fi movie, and I was like, oh shit, Alien, like that's crazy. So now like watching it now, I enjoy it a lot more. Like watching all the ones I've did this week, and then seeing Prometheus, I enjoyed it so much more. It's it's a solid movie with solid actors. Like every actor in there is solid as fuck.
Yep.
There's no whack actors in Prometheus. Period.
Nope.
No. Idris Elba just plays like a ship captain.
Yeah.
Like you normally see him and he's in a role that you're gonna see a lot. Nah, he's just kind of the guy that drives the ship. It's dope.
And every scene he over delivered, dude.
Yeah.
That's a small role. Like this is the small role, and he just when he decides to fucking, like take her advice and do and take care of the threat. That scene's amazing with Skinny Juan.
Yeah.
I call him Skinny Juan because he was
Skinny Wong.
he looked so much smaller. I didn't even recognize him at first.
He hasn't been to Kamertage yet. Apparently, they have good food up there.
Yeah, he's been eating good. Yeah, I thought it was amazing. First view in theaters. I don't know if you remember me talking about this, man. I'm sure you do. I thought it was dope as fuck.
Yeah,
really solid.
Beautiful,
and I was
man.
so hurt.
There's some scenes that are only suitable for a big screen.
God doesn't create in straight lines. That's a good line, dude.
It's a good line.
Yeah,
there's a scene where they're out traveling to LV-223, and the ship is just super tiny, and there's a long just contrail behind it. And on your home TV, it's probably the size of a pencil head, but on the big screen, it was so fucking majestic.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of that movie is incredible on the big screen.
Yeah.
My favorite thing is the surgery scene, but my least favorite thing is old Guy Pearce.
So
can they just hire a fucking old guy? It was so fucking distracting.
Yeah. I guess it's hard to find an old guy that looks like the younger guy when it's only like 20 years different. Because over 20 years, people don't look that different.
This is a complete side note. That complaint is what I had a problem with Jupiter's Legacy, which is a Netflix show.
Yeah, Josh Duhamel with white hair is fucking stupid.
Really dumb.
It's so bad. Like why don't you let me bridge the gap like on looks, right? Like just give me a good old actor.
Let me do it up here.
And let me work that out. Like don't try to CG this 35-year-old as a 70-year-old.
I just watched Black Panther. The T'Chaka that shows up in the 90s to kill Killmonger's dad is not the T'Chaka that dies in Winter Soldier.
Right.
Or Civil War, like at all, completely different. And my brain was like, "That's fine.
It works.
That's fine. I don't care.
You know why?
It's fine.
You know why? Because you didn't take Killmonger, the kid Killmonger, and make him look like to make Michael B. Jordan look like a 12-year-old. You didn't do that.
Yeah.
I got it. Let me bridge it.
Yeah, exactly. So Ben, I agree with both of y'all's beef with the older Wayland, but there's a scene in this movie that makes absolutely no sense because they took a chunk of it out. And it's that scene where he shows up and the engineer's awake, and Waylon's like, look at what I created. You create, look at what I created. Or something like he's just like, look. And then the engineer just fucking hits him.
Yeah.
And you're like, what? Why?
That makes complete sense.
It didn't make any sense to me. Why would it just be violent?
Because that's what
Right?
dude, they created xenomorphs. They created, like, that's their mission. They're not here for a reason. He got
So-
offended that this creature, this pet, is talking to him.
No, see, that's the thing. In the
Okay.
deleted fucking scene that expands on this, it's incredible. He walks up to the engineer and has what's the android? What's Michael Fassbender's name?
Give me 2
Fuck.
seconds. David.
Do it, David. He had David's like translating, and he looks at the engineer and goes, "You created all of us. You created life because of what." And look, I'm just like you. Look at what I created. And then the engineer looks David up and down and realizes he's not life. He's a fucking machine. And it makes him mad. And the engineer gets pissed that this fucking human thinks he's as good as him. And he's like, no, I created life. You created a fucking computer. And that's why he rips David's head off and then kills or mortally wounds Wayland.
Yeah, it's
It's
better
because
with the
he looks
description.
He looks at this and goes, "What the fuck? No, you dumbass! Like I'm better than this."
Well,
and
there's
fucking kills
obviously a god complex with the engineers.
Mhm.
They went to a planet,
him.
populated
Is it a complex if you're literally the gods of the planet?
well, yeah, kind of, right? Like it's like killing your kids because you're their parent. Like, that's not cool. Like, you created it,
yeah.
but that's not good to do that, right?
Sure,
Hold on,
sure,
Let me
yeah.
write that down real quick.
Hold on, I need a bank this
Wait,
information for
what?
later.
You can't?
Don't do this. Got it.
Hey, I brought you in this world. I can take you out. No, you can't,
Oh,
Mom.
hold on. Don't shake babies. Okay, got it. No one had ever told us that.
So in my mind, I thought, like, okay, like, he went to sleep with a mission to fuck up humans, which is weird because they had to use stasis still, right? Like, they were still going through stasis. That's why they were sleeping. And then
Can't escape relativity.
yeah, and the first thing he wants to do is, like, continue the mission. Like, he's like,
Was their mission to fuck up humans?
yes,
Because
that
there-
whole point was
There
like,
weren't any humans on that planet.
no, well, they created humans, they created life, and then they
Yeah.
wanted to end that life that they created. And see, and
Well,
that's why.
it looked like the same thing that created the xenomorphs is what created life on Earth.
Well,
So
no,
it looks like they were just
cre-
going around and dropping this black powder everywhere and seeing what it did. Just, ooh, what is this? What does it create on this planet? What does it create on this planet?
I mean,
and then they created a weapon.
the end result is still the death of humans and their mission is to take this, like, it was a cargo hold for their weapon. Like, the guy referred to that room as a cargo hold. Elizabeth Shaw was like, why do you want to kill us? Why do you want to hurt us? Like, what did we do wrong? I mean, to me, it was apparent that the engineers wanted to, they created Earth, didn't like how it was going, or for whatever reason, and or they just had an experiment they wanted to get off that knowingly they created the ultimate killing machine. Like, the xenomorph is the ultimate killing machine, and they want to unleash it on Earth. Why? Because it's going to ultimately kill everyone.
Yeah, start over.
And they're so powerful they can't even stop it. Like, they died on the way, like getting the ship ready,
delivering their weapon killed them. Yes,
yeah.
Well, the movie's called Prometheus, so
true.
Right.
Although, interesting.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Why have I never thought of this?
Right.
Because that even changes it.
We discovered fire.
Prometheus steals fire from the gods. So is this suggesting that the engineers created something they shouldn't have?
Yeah.
And that it's killing everything?
Mhm.
So the engineers are Prometheus and the humans are just like dealing with it?
No, I think the humans are trying to recreate what the engineers did and it's killing us. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
something like that.
Sure.
Because like Wayland keeps trying to bring the aliens home and it keeps fucking everything up.
Oh my god. Every crew in every alien movie is Prometheus. Because, like, I'm a nerd. Sorry. Prometheus stole fire from the gods to give to humans, right? And then Zeus punished him by making him by chaining him to a rock and having a giant bird come and eat his guts every day. Like, it wouldn't kill him or it would, but then he'd like regenerate, come back the next day,
Yeah.
and die again. Also, it comes from the center of the gut, which is another thing that ties to Prometheus. But I think every crew in these movies is Prometheus, and it's the gods demanding that they be killed by this thing over and over again, no matter what they try. It always kills them. Because you get the group of blue collar workers in Alien, you get the group of soldiers in Aliens, you get the group of prisoners in Alien 3, a group of scientists in Alien Resurrection, a group of scientists in Prometheus, a group of scientists in fucking Alien Covenant, and they're all fucking dumb. That's fine. But they all die trying to do the same exact thing. For me, that's just it now. What?
So who's seen Covenant or Resurrection recently and can comment on either of them?
Dude, I literally turned it on about an hour before the podcast, and literally saw the intro roll, and like that's it. And I think it's because I've already seen it, and I've already kind of made up my mind on how I felt about it.
Yeah, Alien Covenant looks really good.
Yeah,
but it's really stupid.
Yeah, I didn't like anything about it.
It's a bunch of sexy moms and dads or newlyweds that are like, let's fuck on a planet and make it New Earth. And also let's interact with this shit that's awful. Also, Covenant makes the huge mistake of taking
Elizabeth Shaw.
It takes Shaw's character and just like does all of her whatever happens after Prometheus off screen and gives you like a 5-minute like this is what happened that's not satisfactory.
No.
I don't know. It feels like Alien Covenant was like Ridley Scott unfiltered, and he was like, I gotta tell this story, and like it seems like he needs people next to him to be like, tell small parts. Don't try to do the whole thing in one movie.
I think it was the Phantom Menace. It was the Phantom Menace of the saga.
Yeah,
I think
just dump a bunch of
George
information.
Lucas is like, I think I might have done too much here.
Do you remember when this came out?
Right.
Do you guys remember when this came out? Like between Prometheus and Covenant, like the conversations that people were having, they slammed the fuck out of Prometheus.
Yeah,
it got drug through all the mud.
Yeah,
and they pivoted. They listened to the fans, and they made Covenant, and it was absolute trash. Like you can't end Prometheus, which was to me a solid B, right? Solid B. And you end it with the person who survives all of it, the new Ripley, basically, and she's like, I need to know where they're from, and then you don't tell that story with that person.
Yeah, it's so fucking weird.
It's and that's why I was extremely disappointed, and like it's still more of the same. It's kind of like the thing with the Alien movies is like they kind of did run the same theme over and over again, right?
Yeah.
You find this. You go and find this thing, and you come back to the ship, and they shouldn't let you back in the ship, but they do, and you get back in the ship. They did that a couple times in this franchise. And then you have the android who's just a double agent, double crosses everybody, or the Wayland associate who double crosses everybody. They did this almost in every movie.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of where some of the newer fans won't attach to it because of that. It wasn't they didn't do groundbreaking storytelling from movie to movie to movie.
Yeah. I do love that Covenant has the like David and Walter dynamic where he meets a newer version of himself, and then like David, who's been around since Prometheus, is like, let me tell you about my grand plans. Like that's kind of cool, but again, they just tried to cram too much into the movie. Like, why did David go to their homeworld and then dump the black ash over the engineers? Why did he do that? What? Like, there's just no explanation for any of it, and it sucks. Fun fact: the lead female actor in that movie is Sam Waterston's daughter. The dude that's been the lawyer in Law and Order for like 25 fucking years. Old crusty guy.
Yeah.
That's his daughter. I thought that was an interesting fun fact.
That is cool.
That is very cool. So let's I know we're rounding the end here. Are we going to grade these? Because I love our grades.
Sure, why not? Let's put a stamp on it.
All right, we start with Alien. Ben.
A.
C. I'm kidding. I'm just doing that to make Ben mad. I think Alien is a B plus. Yeah.
Okay.
That's mostly because I'm not a huge fan of horror stuff.
Mm.
Yeah.
Sarge,
B.
I'm gonna give
Okay.
it. I'm gonna give it an A plus, dude. 1979 genre defining movie.
Yep.
Defining, bro. By the time
Yeah,
I'm born,
every sci-fi
Sigourney
horror that's
Weaver is
come-
a goddess.
Yeah. Yeah, sure.
You know, I'm
true.
right. You know,
It's
like
true.
I showed up 2 years later. She's a goddess by then, dude. So like, yeah,
Yeah.
dude. I'm gonna give it
Yeah.
an A plus. And I know I never rate anything that high so far, as long as we've been doing this podcast. This is
Yeah,
probably
sure.
the most classic movie I think we've watched.
Yeah,
Okay.
sure. I would agree with that
Aliens.
Aliens, Ben.
S.
Satisfactory, dude.
It's
too.
above
No,
an A.
S is like
Oh,
S
S
It's
is
is
like
above an
bigger.
A plus. It's above
Yeah.
A plus.
Okay,
It's
okay.
for
I thought
elementary
tier.
school.
I thought the professor was coming out. I was like, pass. It
You get an
passes.
incomplete. Yeah.
no S
Covenant.
is
Covenant
anime
gets
as
an
fuck.
I. Covenant gets an I. It's incomplete.
We'll get the Covenant.
No,
Sure.
this is an A plus plus. It's I just
Yeah,
it's,
super.
call it fandom, whatever. This is my grade. I'm not saying it's the best movie ever made.
Mm.
I know that it's formulaic as fuck, but it has like it's influenced so much comics, video games,
Military.
Yeah.
the military.
Jargon.
Like in the pipe 5x5. That's part of military jargon now. Nobody knew what the fuck that meant. It's just it's
right.
it's aliens. We're in for some chop. Like it's turbulence. You know, like it's so yeah.
Okay.
And like when we're in a 4-player co-op survival game and on Xbox Live, me and Moncho all the time go, "Let's rock!" And because right when they got those fucking hip mounted MG42s, and it's just like,
Side note,
so
Very good.
wouldn't an
incredibly good.
asymmetrical alien game be the shit?
Yeah.
If you could be a
I think- are they
xenomorph
making one?
and crawl through like
Yeah.
spaces they can't get to.
Yeah.
Okay.
No. Yes, it would, but I hate
Yes,
it
it would.
already. I hate it already.
Especially if you could
Be a
impregnate
face
them.
hugger.
Yeah. You could start as a face hugger. And
Got
and
your
then,
face.
like-
God. So the starting phase is everybody in the ship and there's one face hugger.
you're in a
like-
room. You're in the barracks. You're in the barracks. You have to get out of the barracks. There's a face hugger in the barracks.
So you have to literally kill one of the players in order to become a xenomorph.
Yep.
Right.
You have a certain amount of tickets to do so, like a certain amount
Or
of
you
lives.
play as the guy that's been face hugged and you have to not get killed by everybody else and hide your symptoms until it can come out.
Among Us
And
style.
then you get to play
like muffle cough button. Like this.
White blood on
your
sleeve.
controller starts to vibrate and you have to like hold the triggers so you don't cough. Yeah. I'm fine.
We've,
I'm fine.
We've gone way too far into this.
I
love it. All right,
My grade for
aliens.
aliens is an A.
A.
Yes.
Sarge.
A B plus.
All right. Okay. I got to give it an A.
Sure.
Got to give it an A.
All right.
yeah. Alien 3.
In the prison colony.
Ben.
I know it's got issues.
Yeah.
And I think some of the CG does fall apart a little bit. They tried some new strategies and it didn't quite work.
Yeah.
So like some of the color grading is mismatched. It's like a red hallway and a green alien. It's like, hold on.
Yeah, the
right.
alien went like real sideways there for a little
Yep.
bit. I was like,
It
what?
did.
What's
But
happening?
the
It did.
little like young one that was like shaky on its feet, fucking beautiful. So great. 'Cause
Yeah.
that was the puppet. That looked good. It looked
Oh,
like a young giraffe, right? It
We
was
also
awesome.
didn't talk about the fist pounding the stomach of the dog for like 5 minutes while they were having the funeral service. Like, come on now, do we need that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Ryan was like, why
Yes,
did that have to
yes.
be a dog?
For
That's
5
hard.
minutes?
That's hard,
For
dude.
5 minutes,
Dogs
dude?
have a high threshold for pain.
Fuck, that movie's so weird.
It's
Fuck
a
it.
dog,
A minus.
dude.
That movie's so weird, and I love David
It
Fincher.
still gets an A.
and it's Charles Dance, and I love that movie. I'll never not watch that as part of the trilogy for me.
Yeah. It's a solid.
You know?
In an era of bad trilogies, it's a solid number 3.
I'll never leave it off. It's never not worth watching to me. Like when you're watching Star Wars, which one do you leave off? When you're watching Aliens, which one do you leave off? This ain't it.
All right. So what's your grade's an A? You said.
I'll be realistic. B plus.
Okay.
I'll be realistic. Yeah,
Caleb?
yeah.
I would give this I'm gonna go with my gut, C plus.
Okay.
Because like because like Aliens can't be an A and this can't be an A. Like it can't. It's
Yeah,
not the same.
yeah.
No, it's not fair.
So right, it's not fair.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, Sarge, what's your grade?
C plus.
C plus. Okay, you're a tough crowd.
Never
on this.
again.
I'm gonna give it a B plus because it's not an A plus, it's not an A, it's a B plus because you have Sigourney Weaver, Charles Dutton, Charles Dance, fucking
Peter Postlewaite for the super dorks. That dude's incredible.
yeah.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it just for the actors involved. I'm gonna give it a B, Just give it a solid B.
Nice.
All right. So we did not talk about this movie
We didn't talk about Resurrection at all.
at all.
It's got some interesting effects. I think the CG was in its prime then, like when they started learning how to swim.
Ryder in it.
It's got Winona Ryder.
Wincott.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Winona Ryder, Ron Perlman.
Right.
There was another guy.
It earns points for cast.
Yeah.
Raymond Cruz is an amazing actor, and he's in this. And you guys, he's Better Call Saul, Breaking Bad. He did I think he did Training Day too.
How do you spell his last name?
Cruz, Cruz. He's a bit actor, but he's
yeah.
really
no,
good.
He's great. Yeah.
And he was really good in this movie too.
You ever had your shit pushed in? That guy.
Yeah. I said that to Erin, and she had no idea what I was talking about. I was like, "Yes, the guy. You the guy. You know, you ever got your shit pushed in?"
And she's really
like,
looking right at you like, what the fuck?
Excuse
You
you?
can watch the rest of this movie by yourself. Yeah. Okay. So, Angry Video Game Nerd, also known as James Rolfe, says Alien 3 went for an artistic vision but failed. Alien Resurrection went for entertaining trash and succeeded. He said it's the golden turd of the franchise.
When I was younger and realizing
That's
that
amazing.
that she's gone, like this is just a clone, it kind of was like sad to me.
Yeah.
But she was completely badass, and like it was fun to watch that character like develop into such a like almost what's the Mila Jovovich from Resident Evil type killing machine.
Omnipotent sort of.
Yeah.
And then like her torching the room of her own clones is pretty fucking dramatic.
It's pretty fucked up, but it shows more so that Wayland is literally following in the footsteps of the engineers, and I think that's kind of like a underlying theme.
How badass was it when that the final xenomorph that came out looking more like a human, which was fucking terrifying.
No thanks.
Got sucked through a hole in the ship this big. That's how it died.
Yeah, and then because it came out of her, she's like, I'm sorry I'm doing this to you.
Yeah. She's
and like
sad.
the alien was like hug, like the queen alien was like hugging her and shit, and like that shit was wild. It wasn't that bad.
Yeah, well,
it wasn't that bad of a movie.
Yeah, James Rolfe also said so because something like they're all sharing DNA now, like so Ridley's DNA is in the aliens and the alien DNA is in Ridley, so like they're all like family by the end. It's kind of wild.
It's super. All right, so let's grade that real quick. I know we didn't talk about it outside of this last couple minutes, but
I unfortunately haven't seen it recent enough
okay
to feel like I should give it a grade.
All right,
I'll rely on everybody else's expertise.
Did you guys not? You didn't watch it either?
I didn't get to that one. No.
Right,
I'll rewatch
on you, Tech.
All right. Well, I did watch it and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed Ron Perlman. I enjoyed the guy in the wheelchair. I enjoyed a lot of it, but it's not a great movie in comparison to Aliens, and Alien 3. So I'll give it a C plus.
Okay.
Yeah. That's the best you can get because we're Winona Ryder. So hello, you know.
Yeah.
He's fantastic.
This movie would make her famous enough to be in Stranger Things.
Yeah. All right. So Prometheus. Then
B plus.
That's solid.
Or A minus, either one.
Okay.
Depending on what kind of day I'm having.
Lubwub.
I'll say B plus as well. Yeah.
Sarge didn't see it.
Nope, did not see that.
What are you gonna say, Caleb?
That movie does real well to stand on its own. Like, yeah, that movie is great.
Yeah, the performances were all A plus. Everyone left it on the table. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
they did their thing. The story, was it perfect? Was it paced well? That's up for argument. But I liked it. I enjoyed it. Every viewing I've ever seen of it, I've enjoyed it. If I walk in the room and it's on TV, I'm not walking away. So I'm gonna give it a B plus.
So there is a game coming out called Aliens Fire Team. It's a 4-player co-op survival game. Looks pretty incredible.
Yeah. Hopefully you can capture what that one didn't.
Colonial Marines.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, that one.
You gotta enter your birthday to view the game. I like that. Tell me more about this game.
Tell me more about this violence.
Are
Speaking of violence,
Are you
holy shit.
done with Aliens? Like, are you done with the franchise? Like,
No,
can they
never.
do another movie and then you're like, okay, I'll go watch that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
for
well,
sure.
we're getting a show. We're getting a show out of FX that's going to be directed by the guy that directed directed and wrote Fargo, the show that came out in 2014.
Yeah.
And then the guy who directed in Legion on FX as well, Noah Hawley. And it's supposedly about like Wayland Yutani. So like, fuck yeah, I'll watch the shit out of that.
Yeah. I'm not as burnt out as I am with like with Terminator or whatever.
I do want to say
And there was
I do want to say they're very they use the acid as a plot device too much.
Sure.
Like they don't obey their rules of acid when it's not convenient.
Oh, right, sure, yeah. It's acid when it matters.
Yeah, it's acid when it's acid, but most times it's not.
Yeah.
What are we doing next time?
We gotta do something Sarge because I feel like Sarge was like not here.
Well, we
fully.
started talking about Prometheus, and that was like the one he didn't
That's-
get to.
yeah,
and
that's
our
when I-
fault.
Is there? We should
Checked
have.
out.
Okay, I had this thought too that if we do movies like this, we should not force ourselves to watch 6 movies in 2 weeks.
We
And
should talk about movies we've all seen already.
no,
Yeah.
not even that. But like, at least let's do a part 1 and a part 2, so we don't have to like
Star Wars.
forcefully
All in 2 weeks.
9 movies,
Doctor Who.
2 weeks. Yeah,
60 years of Doctor Who in a week.
yeah.
That's
So
fun.
maybe a little more nuanced approach to maybe
Fast
like
and Furious.
the first 2 Alien movies, and then months from now the next 2 or something like that.
We should do the Fast and Furious movies next.
I hate that idea so
We
much,
should
but I'm
do the Fast
absolutely
and Furious movies next.
because I just found out some shit from Paul Walker that will change your view of Paul Walker,
From him?
about him.
Oh, okay.
Like, some
like
How
who are you
deep was-
talking to? And you're
how deep was that sleep?
I fell asleep Fast and Furious. Yeah, so like, that Paul Walker news is disheartening. But
Yeah.
yeah.
We could do the first half of Fast and Furious.
No, let's
Are
never
we
do Fast
really
and
doing?
Furious.
Don't do
Are we
this to
really?
me.
No,
I don't think we're doing
Fast
Fast and Furious. I
No.
don't think we're doing that.
Don't do this to
But
me.
it
So
can't, it can't
I
always
picked-
be sci-fi though, right? It can't always
I
be comic
understand.
books and sci-fi.
Yeah.
I picked Ninja Turtles. Who picked Aliens? Is
Who
that
did pick
Ben?
That was Ben.
No. Nah.
Okay.
I don't think it was.
Well,
Re-
Ben, you
let's go to
picked
the-
Aliens.
Let's go to the tapes.
Bring it back, bring it back.
All right, who wants to pick next? Then Tech, Caleb.
We need something Caleb can geek out about because we keep picking things that
What?
you know.
But you know what?
I
You know
fuck
what's
with
funny
the
is
I fuck with the Alien movies.
I've never
100%.
I've never geeked out over Aliens until this. Like I've
Nice.
seen it,
Yeah.
but I've never like delved into the universe as hard as I just did.
The old deep dive.
Yeah.
Yep, gotta love them.
Nice.
I should like pick up my wall of Funkos and like throw something at it, and whichever one hits, that's the franchise we talk about.
Just don't throw
Until
something
they-
heavy.
Right.
Until they all fall over and you got to pick that shit up for like
So
2
the first
hours.
one I close my eyes, and the first one I pick up is what we talk about.
Can we talk about the Terminator movies?
Marvel
No.
only because you've got like 40
I
Marvel.
mean, we
ones.
could. There's a lot of catastrophe in there.
No,
No,
I
I-
feel like it's too similar
I
to
wouldn't.
Aliens.
Mm-mm. Yeah.
Like I don't want to have to go back and watch 5, especially because next week I'm out of town, out of the country. I don't want to have to watch 5 movies to get like caught up and be able to talk about it. And I don't
So
think
let's just talk about Army of the Dead next time.
no, you don't want me to talk about that for an hour.
No.
It's,
No.
no one should talk
Well,
about that
tell
for
you
an
what.
hour.
Tell you what, we should come up with it off air.
There we go.
'Cause this
Sure.
is not good.
I bet you
Someone's listening to this like, I don't
someone
fucking care.
someone's listening to this and they're like trying to throw ideas to the iPhone or
shouting in their
something. Like
car.
just shouting
Yeah.
to
Give it. Yeah, if you're listening,
Oh,
you know
fuck.
we're not hard to find. Maybe it could be community. Maybe the
We
community.
should
can
talk
start one.
about James Bond. We should talk
No.
about James
James
Bond.
Bond. That's like 30 movies, bro. What are you doing?
We don't have to do them
Yeah.
all. We don't have to do them all. We could do the most recent ones because Daniel Craig's run as James Bond ends this year, and it's the 25th Bond movie. It's a big fucking deal. Or Bond 23. It's a big deal. It's a big deal. Why not? Okay, fine. We'll come up with this
I'm
on
not
air. We'll come up
opposed.
with it later.
I'm not opposed, but
Tech
anyway.
he's about to puke at me.
Through the camera.
All right. Well,
we'll
if you
figure out
are
something. We need to figure
you
out
are
something
listening,
by tomorrow.
send us a message. We're
Yeah.
not hard to reach. Obviously, we're
We'll put a poll up on Twitter and we'll pick it. We'll pick a few and then you guys can vote on it. How about that?
Boom.
Let's do a promoted poll that takes like a week, right?
We'll talk about this off stream.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ben, what do you got going on in the next 2 weeks? What do you hope
Same
to
shit.
accomplish?
What's going on last week? Working on my games, working on my comics, working in the gym. Just staying on my grind. Oh, I'm starting. I actually have 3 students I'm mentoring this summer for 2 months. They actually
I feel
paid me to
sorry
do
for
it.
them.
Paid mentorship. So yeah, just trying to find their footing online, trying to find a career, trying to get some art basics, stuff like that. So it's pretty exciting. That starts in 3 days. So
Look at you, turn into a little life coach. Look at you. Look at you go. I love it.
Yep, art and muscles. I
Little
guess.
Tony Robbins.
Lil Tony Robbins. Lil Robbins.
Lil
Caleb,
Robbins.
what you got going on the next couple weeks?
Well, I said last time we talked about this, that things were clearing up, and they didn't. I forgot my in-laws were moving, so it's been a real fucking crazy couple weeks. So that's all over tomorrow.
Huzzah.
I've had both kids at home every day, 5 days a week for 2 weeks. It's been fucking awesome. Literally,
Like
but
you didn't choose
also
that.
I'm so tired. I'm so tired. But next week that changes, and we send Charlie to daycare 2 days a week, and yeah. So I've got some articles, I got streams, stuff. What's happening? I'm still working on things as much as I can. So yeah, my coming soon is vague but promising, if that makes sense.
All right.
Gotcha.
Uh,
Ryan?
Sarge?
I want to fucking sleep. I've been working 5 a.m. shifts for the past like 7 days, 8 days, and it's just a lot. I haven't gotten shit done. I don't get to play games. I come home, do shit around the house, go to bed. So I'm gonna try and stay up late, play some games, have some fun, hang out with you guys, and just relax.
Nice.
Okay.
Okay.
Tech.
I got a lot going on. I go on vacation next week, and I made the tough decision to not bring my laptop, which is the first time that I've ever done that. Every time I've left the country, I've acted like I still was working. I never told clients I was out of town. I just kept working. So this is my first true break in many years. So I'm looking forward to that.
I Mex Supreme.
Yeah, dude, I'm gonna kick it, dude.
Let's just call him Tech Mix.
Okay. I got the so I don't know if I told you guys this, but I'm doing a solo podcast, and I recorded my first episode. But the audio was fucked up, so I got to re-record the first episode.
Oh no.
Yeah. So I'm doing some. That's why my mic is over here now in this, because I'm going to be recording it into Pro Tools as I record it into the camera, just in case that ever happens again. So I'm super excited about that. I already have the concept all done and the title and everything. Everything's all set up. It's just the content part now, which is I'm just looking forward to that. It's something I've been thinking about for a while. So I'm super excited about it. What else do I have going on? That's about it. Of course, art and the graphic design is doing well, so it's gonna be weird to see what happens taking a week off, if that's gonna hurt anything. I've always been scared that a week off would hurt something, but it probably won't. That's about it.
So?
I think.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right then, everybody.
Dick.
Well,
Yeah.
that was Aliens Week. Thanks for listening. Give us a follow on everything. You can reach us through our hub at nerdybits.com.
Yeah. And if you like what Sarge has on, we do have merch for sale. www.illustriousmerch.com. Place your order now.
Also linked on the website. So
Also linked on nerdybits.com.
if you don't have a pen handy, you can just go through the portal.
And he's making, and we actually do have masks on the website, so you don't have to use your shirt as a mask. unless
Sure.
you just want to.
Unless you really, really want to. Yeah.
If
Yeah.
you want to.
Thank you for listening.
And
We'll
if,
see you
if you
guys.
take pictures in our merch, we'll send you a link to our OnlyFans.
We'll do
Yeah.
nothing.
Hold on.
All the things that we do, all the things that we say that we're going to do in the next 2 weeks, we do that just naked on the OnlyFans. That's the content. look at
Call
Caleb's
it-
face.
Call it Lonely Fans.
You get to see our naughty bits on Nerdy Bits.
There you go.
There you go.
I'm upset.
Thanks for listening, guys. We will see you on the next episode. Peace.
Cheer. Peace.
Yeah.